Hello, and welcome to our special program on President Xi Jinping's trip to the G20 Bali Summit. I'm Zhuang Qiange in Beijing. At the summit, President Xi called on G20 members to join together to answer the burning questions of our times. How do we solve the problems our world faces? Three key phrases stood out from Xi's speech at the summit: global development, economic recovery, and food and energy security. As economic globalization is encountering headwinds and the world economy is at risk of recession, Xi underlined the need to build a global partnership for economic recovery. The intent of this partnership is to prioritize development, put the people at the center, keep in mind difficulties faced by developing countries, and accommodate their concerns. Xi affirmed China's support for the African Union joining the G20. To deal with the threat of recession, Xi asked countries to curb global inflation and diffuse systemic economic and financial risks. Especially developed countries should mitigate the negative spillover from their monetary policy adjustment and keep their debts at sustainable levels. Xi held a series of bilateral meetings with foreign leaders on the sidelines of the summit. Our correspondent Xue Jinqi has been watching the summit in Bali closely. Hi Jinqi, what can you tell us?
Yes, Qiange, the world's eyes are on Bali as leaders of the largest economy convene for the G20 summit. In the media center next to the information desk, there are newspapers and magazines featuring the summit. I have a copy of the Jakarta Post, one of the main English language newspapers in Indonesia. In an interview with the Post, Indonesia President Joko Widodo said he hoped the G20 could serve as a bridge of communication between China and the US, and that he believed the two sides would find a win-win strategy through consultation that is beneficial to the development of both countries. He also said that the China-US talks will not only have a great significance for the G20, but also greatly impact the global development and course. Another article published in a special issue of the paper's magazine section said the global economic development in the post-COVID-19 era is facing huge challenges, and the emergence of the stagflation and balancing the interests of the developing and developed countries should also be the focus of G20 leaders this year. As the world's second largest economy, China is an indispensable force in promoting global economic recovery. People expect China, as an important member of the G20, will be more active in global economic collaboration and governance, and will work to promote sustainable and balanced growth in the world economy.
My colleague Jinqi also talked to media personnel and local professionals for their thoughts on this year's G20 summit. Let's hear what they had to say.
I think China is a major player in the world in different topics. China has a very important agricultural background, not only for exportation but also for importation. The commerce between Argentina and China in agricultural products is very important.
I know that China focusing on invest in infrastructure more in Indonesia, and I hope that China can invest more in Indonesia in the infrastructure sectors, but not only infrastructure but in other sectors.
We hope the bilateral meetings between President Xi and President Biden is the symbol of the economic recovery, as the symbol of world peace, and the symbol of how we solve our problem in the world together. China is Indonesia's best friend. So we think that China's contribution to Indonesia is very big. So we have to maintain this cooperation. We have to maintain this situation.
That's all for now. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for more.